Hello friends, welcome back to our channel DS Tech Mirror. This is part 9 of our model driven app series. In this video, we will learn about business rules in model driven apps. We will start with understanding of the business rules. What are business rules? Business rules you can understand if we want to add any logic to my model driven app, if I want to add any validation without writing any piece of code, I can do with the help of business rules. With the help of business rules, I can do the following. I can show or hide any column. I can enable or disable any column. I can create business recommendation based on business logic. I will explain you what does this mean. Validation logic, I can put any validation on any of the field, and based on that logic, based on that condition, I can show the error message to the end user. I can clear any field values. I can set the column requirement level. That means if it is required, if it is optional or recommended. And I can also set the value of any of the fields in my model driven app. So all these things I can do with the help of business rules. This one, create business recommendation, means based on any condition I can show the recommendation to the user. It would be up to user whether user want to take that particular action. Automatically this action will not run, it will just show a recommendation in my app. All actions are applicable on model driven apps, but on Canvas app all actions are not applicable. Now if we are applying these business rules on the Dataverse tables, and if I'm using the same table in my Canvas app, so some of the business rules will be applicable on my Canvas app as well, but not all. Business rule does not support choice, multi-select, file and language. So these are the column which business rule does not support: multi-select, choices column, then file column and language column. If you want to change business rule, you must deactivate it and then modify it. So if you want to delete any business rules or you want to make any modification without deactivating it, you cannot do that. So before proceeding further, let's go to make.powerapps.com. Let's complete one demo and then I will come back to this slide, because then you will be able to understand it in a better way. I'm inside my make.powerapps.com. This is my environment, DS Tech Mirror, and I am inside my solution, DS Tech Mirror demo. As part of this demo, I have created one column in my donation table. Column name is PAN card. So I'm not covering how I can create a column in this video, because I've already created one video how I can create a columns in Dataverse and how I can add column in my forms. So what I have done before recording this video, I created one column called PAN card. Type is text. This is a simple column, and then I have added this column in my main form, that is demo donation main form. So this is the pre-work which I have done. If you are following my video regularly, you can do this. This is part of my app which we are creating, fundraiser app. So now what I will do, let me open this main form. This is my main form. Over here I have to set a condition that donation amount should be between 10 rupees to 5 lakh rupees. That means my fundraiser app will not accept any amount that is less than 10 rupees, that means in single digit, and also it will not accept any amount more than 5 lakh from a single person for one cause. So how I can do that? Let me go back over here. If you want to create a business rules on your particular table, for example, in my case, I want to add this business rule on this particular column, donation amount, and it is part of my donation table. So what I will do, I am inside this table and I will click on this business rule tab. At the top you can see this business rule. Click on it. When you will click on this business rule, this is the business rule designer. Using this you can create a business rule. Over here I will show you. This is the condition you can add. Flow condition. Condition would be if else if condition, and based on that these are the actions which you can take. Add recommendation, add unlock, add show error message, set field, default value, set business required action, and set visibility. So these are the limited actions which I can do with the help of business rules. Once you are done with your business rule, you can save it. You can validate it to see if there is any error. Scope I will cover in a moment. What would be the scope of the business rule? And once it is saved and validated, this should appear on my form. Again, it will appear on the form based on the scope. Scope over here you can see entity, all forms, demo donation. This is the form name. This is the demo donation main form, and information. This is also the main form. So you can understand there are three types of scope. One is the entity. If I have selected this scope as entity, so my business rule will be applicable on the entity. It will be validate on my model driven app, and in case if I have created any canvas app using the same database table, it will be applicable over there as well. If I am selecting all forms, this business rule will be applicable on all form, and in case if I am selecting any of the main form, it will be limited only to that particular main form. So I have two main form over here, so they both are appearing, information main form and demo donation main form. So scope is the table, all forms and main form. If it, you have to remember, if it is a table, then it will appear everywhere in my model driven app, in my canvas app. The only limitation is on canvas app all the actions are not applicable. In case of forms, it will not appear in canvas app, but it will appear in all the forms of my model driven app. And in case if it is main form, it will be only applicable on the main form. In my case, I would like to keep the scope as just by demo donation main form. So what I want to do is I want to set the limitation on this donation amount. So I will click on this. You can see this condition. As soon as I click on this condition, in the right panel, I can see this property section. And in the component, the same thing which I accessed from the top ribbon, that is the condition and all the actions. Let me click on this condition. Condition name would be, I will say, donation amount limit. I have accessed this business rule from my donation table. So entity is automatically selected at my donation, and there is no option to change it from here. Next is the rule. From here I can define the rule. Source is entity and another is business process, but in my case it would be entity. Now I have to select the field from here. My field is donation amount. Operator is less than. If it is value, over here it is 10. And I will apply if donation amount is less than 10. Next is I want to add one more rule for the same condition. So I will click on new from here, rule 2, entity, field would be same, donation amount, operator now greater than, value would be 5 lakh. And now between these two logic, these two rules I can apply the operator and or. So mine would be or. So over here you can see that automatically it has evaluated this conditional expression. Donation amount is less than 10 or donation amount is greater than 5 lakh. I say apply. And here you can see the text view of your business rule. This is also automatically generated. You don't need to write any code. You have to just use the UI to create your business rule, and it will automatically generate the text view. Next is based on this condition. If it is true, you have to approach over here, and in case if it is false, the logic you will write over here. So I will go to the add, or what I can do, I can go to the component also. Now if it is true, I want to show error message. I can just drag drop over here, or if I delete it, and if I'm adding from the top, show error message. So now over here it is giving me both the options to add, and if I'll click on it, it will get added over here automatically. Now I will select this. Automatically property section is selected. Display name, I will say error message. Entity, my donation. Field, donation amount. I will say donation amount should be between 10 and 5 lakh. So now this business rule will not let user to save the value if it is not meeting this criteria. And my business rule is ready. So guys, you can see without writing even a piece of code, we can create rules and validation using this business rule. So they are really very useful. Now I will click on apply. This is done. Scope I have selected. I will say save, validate. There are no errors. And last, please don't forget to activate your business rule. Until and unless you will activate it, it will not work. Now it is activating. Activate. You can see this deactivate over here. That means my rule is activated. I will come back over here inside the business rule. That rule will appear over here. New business rule. Now, if I want to, for example, now I will go to my main form. This is my main form. Let me refresh it. Please press Ctrl F5 and now you can see donation amount should be between 10 and 5 lakh. You can see this message. If I press 5 and I will say just test, all these are not mandatory, so it will not work. This will not work. Donation amount should be between 10 and 5 lakh. If I enter more than 6 lakh, this will also not work. And if I enter any amount between this range, it will work. So my business rule is working perfectly fine. In the beginning, I told you I added one field called PAN card, so it is also available over here. Now I will create another business rule. The situation is if any donor or if any end user entering donation amount greater than or equal to 5,000, it should be mandatory to enter the PAN card. If amount is less than 50,000, this field should not be visible. If amount is greater than or equal to 50,000, this field should be visible. Also, it should be mandatory. So let's see how I can create this business rule. To create another business rule, I will click on add business rule. I will close this particular instance. Okay, same. Over here, now this is my condition. I just clicked on it. New condition. I will say PAN card condition. Just name it. PAN card. Entity would be same my donation. Field will be donation amount. Operator, I will say does not contain data. Why I am selecting does not contain data? Because whenever my form will load, donation field will not contain any data, and on form load, I want to hide my PAN card field. So I have selected this does not contain data and I will click on apply. So if it is true, I will say add set visibility, and visibility would be my donation PAN card. Over here I will select the PAN card and I will say visible no, apply. Here you can keep checking your text view of the business rule. If donation amount does not contain any data, then hide field PAN card. So on form load, and in case my donation amount field is blank, so PAN card should be hidden. Now I will go to the false part of my if condition. That means if donation amount does not contain data, if it gets failed, that means if it contains data, what should be done? I'll say add set visibility over here. You can see else it should be visible which field PAN card. Apply. Plus I want to add one more condition. Add set business required action. So I will select this. I have to add it over here. It is asking me I can add at both the places. I want to add over here. Again, PAN card field, not business required. I will say yes, business required, and apply. Now you can see if donation amount does not contain data, then hide PAN card field, else show field PAN card and set PAN card as business required. From the column, I have set this PAN card field as optional. Let me just show you. And meanwhile it is loading, I will come over here, apply, and I want to save this business rule. I will click on save. Validation is successful. Let me click on save as. From here I can change the name of my business rule. I will say PAN card rule for PAN card field. Now save. If you want to add description, you can do that as well from here. So this is done. Now I will change. Again, scope should be just limited to my main form. You can set this scope as the entity as well. So I will activate this business rule now. Meanwhile, I have to click on one button, activate. So this is activated. This is also done. I am inside my column. This is PAN card, and you can see this is optional. Now I will just refresh my form, and this PAN card field should be hidden now. You can see, guys, PAN card field is, we are not able to see PAN card field. Now if I add donation amount of, for example, 55 rupees, I can see this PAN card field. I forgot one condition over here. Now I have to add one condition over here. So I will go, because I have not set the condition for the amount. I will say else part, and I will add one condition. Over here you can see I am not able to edit my business rule because it is already activated. To edit it, you have to deactivate it. Otherwise, there is no option. And one more thing, if I try to delete this business rule, I cannot do that because it is already activated. Let me show you. If I go back, select business rules from here. This is my rule for PAN card field. Select delete business rule. See, the business rules could not be deleted, cannot delete an active workflow definition because it is activated. So I will go back over here. I will deactivate it first. And now I will add the modification or the second part of the condition. So this condition is saying if business rule does not contain data, then this. Now if it is false, then hide PAN card field. The else part, if I will come over here and I will select a condition, add condition, and this is my condition. It got added over here. In this condition, I will say, this will say name. I am not right now, I am just keeping the default name. I will say donation amount greater than or equal to value 50,000. Apply. Again, we will just go through the text view once. If donation amount does not contain data, then hide PAN card field. Else, if that means if it contains data, then donation amount greater than or equal to 50,000, then only it will work. Then only this condition will work. That means show field PAN card and set PAN card as business required. Name I have already given. Save and validate and activate. These three things: validate, validation successful, and then activate. Now my second business rule is completed. Now let's just see how it is working in the main form. I will come over here and control F5. This we are checking through main form. Okay, so on page load it is working. If I am entering the donation amount less than 4, it is not blank, then also my PAN card field is not visible. And if I am entering any amount, for example 56, then also it is my PAN card field is still not visible, because it will work only if I enter any amount greater than or equal to 50,000. And you can see this PAN card mandatory. If I try to save, PAN card required field must be filled in. So my business rule is completely working fine. Let's just see through the app as well. I will go over here, and this is my app, my fundraiser app. I will play this and let's see how it is working through app. My donation, I will click on new. See, over here it is also working. First condition, donation amount must be 10 and 50,000. If I enter 50, it is working fine. If I enter 50,000, see PAN card, and it is mandatory. If I try to click save, no. For example, if I do PAN card, a name as test from test user, cause I will select for hospital, and if I select on save, this is saved. Save and close to my donation table, and here it is, test hospital. Click on it, I can see this record. So guys, my business rules are completely working fine in my app, fundraiser app. So I will go back to my slides now. I will quickly just give you a walkthrough again, because now I think you will understand it in a much better way. Create business rules to apply logic and validations. This we know without writing any code. We can show field, hide field, validation logic, create business recommendation, clear column values, set requirement level. So everything what all we can do through business rule, you can just see over here. If you go to the components over here, you can see each and everything. Because it is again activated, I cannot edit it, so everything is read only for me. So you can see over here all the actions which we can do through business rules. Then another important thing is the scope of the business rules. This I have covered. One is the table, model driven app and server, all forms, only that particular model driven form, specific form, model driven app forms. And you can see if I've selected table as well, so and canvas app as well, comma canvas app as well. Server means Dataverse server, because if I created any business rule on the table is stored in my Dataverse server. So obviously if I'm creating any canvas app based on that particular table, that business rule will be applicable over here. Form, all forms, only that model driven form. Specific form, model driven forms. Business rule will execute before onload script. This we will see. For now you can understand before my forms onload, because I will also cover how we can write JavaScript code on my model driven app. So it is applicable for that. Business rule runs on client side. Demo, this I have covered. Set minimum donation amount. Validation we covered. Show height field, PAN card. Setting PAN card field as mandatory. This also I have covered. So guys, that's it for today. Before closing this video, just let's update the progress so far which we have made in this particular tutorial series. So today we covered the business rules. The guys who are watching this video directly in this tutorial, I have covered all these topics so far. So if you are interested, you can go through my earlier videos. Thank you for watching today's video. If you like this video, please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel to get notification for our upcoming videos. You can reach out to us through YouTube comments as well as through our official email IDs. If you are interested, please follow our group over Facebook called Modern SharePoint. And also you can follow me on Twitter to get all the updates from the Office 365 world. Till our next video, much love, keep learning. Thank you.